probably the most read restaurant review in the entire country over the past week has been from the Grand Forks Herald. That is a local newspaper in North Dakota. There's not a lot of fine restaurants, apparently, in the Grand Forks area of North Dakota.
I read the Grand Forks Herald every morning.
A woman named Marilyn Haggerty has been writing restaurant reviews there for like 40 years. And there aren't a lot of good restaurants there. She has in the past reviewed Ruby Tuesday, Pizza Ranch, Applebee's, KFC, and Subway. But the big news, and this thing has gone completely viral, was the first ever Olive Garden opened up in this area of North Dakota. And this 85-year-old woman wrote a restaurant review.
Was this an actual review? Because sometimes
it's
in
a review.
Small papers, they make an ad sort of look like a review.
No.
I believe that Olive Garden's advertising strategy was not to buy the tiny paper in North Dakota. This is a real review. And
this is her actual real opinion.
Within 2 days, 1 million people had watched this. Like every food website put this front and center. And people are not only, this is an 85-year-old woman. Unless she has like a swastika or on her arm or something, the venom for this woman, people are like really making
the internet very angry.
All right, so here is this is Marilyn Haggerty's review of the brand new shiny Olive Garden in Grand Forks, North Dakota. It starts, after a lengthy wait for Olive Garden to open in Grand Forks, the lines were long in February. The novelty is slowly wearing off, but the steady following attests to the warm welcome. My visit to Olive Garden was during mid-afternoon, so I could be sure to get in. After a late breakfast, I figured a late lunch would be fashionable. She's very, very matter-of-fact, by the way, with exactly there's not much artful, food writing here. It's not flowery language. She explains to you exactly what is happening.
What her experience is.
She says
she's writing about it as if it's a newly opened restaurant by a local person.
Like she has never seen anything like that. Well,
that's what I find fascinating.
All right, here's her. The review continues of Olive Garden in North Dakota. The place is impressive. It's fashioned in Tuscan farmhouse style with a welcoming entryway. There's seating for those who are waiting. My booth was near the kitchen, and I watched the waiters in white shirts, ties, black trousers, and aprons adorned with gold-colored towels. It had been a few years since I ate at the older Olive Garden in Fargo, so I studied the two manageable menus offering appetizers, soups, and salads, and lots of pasta. At length, I asked my server what she would recommend. She suggested chicken Alfredo, and I went with that. Instead of the raspberry lemonade she suggested, I drank water.
Well, listen, times are very, very tough in the local newspaper business. She may be on a very, very tight expense budget.
But I guarantee you that is the case.
But if the professional server recommends that you get the raspberry...
Now, Danny, you're a highly respected figure in terms of restaurants.
I am.
Do you think that those two things pair well together, that entree with that beverage?
I would suggest, absolutely. It's a perfect pairing. It complements the creaminess, the richness of a chicken Alfredo to just have water. Yes. Then she says...
And a glass of Chardonnay, maybe?
The server first brought me the familiar Olive Garden salad bowl with crisp greens, peppers, onion rings, and yes, several black olives. Along with it came a plate of 2 long, warm breadsticks. The chicken Alfredo, for $10.95, was warm and comforting on a cold day. The portion was generous. My server was ready with Parmesan cheese.
I think it's a very accurate description of the Olive Garden.
She says when she returns on a hot summer day, I will try the raspberry lemonade that was recommended. There's a homemade soup, salad, and breadstick lunch after 4 p.m. daily for $6.95. She then just goes on to write a bunch of stuff straight from the Olive Garden website. Like Olive Garden is part of the Darden chain of restaurants that also operate Red Lobster. There are 700 restaurants, including 4 Olive Gardens in North Dakota's major cities, so on and so forth.
Why is this causing such a stir? I don't understand.
Million hits in like a couple of days.
Because here's why. The entire world are just absolute a-hole snobs. Somehow the Olive Garden does $7 billion in business, but it doesn't have one fan out there. And if you like Olive Garden, you're just a chump. So the fact that this woman would say it resembles Tuscany and it wasn't terrible, and she would have the balls to actually review an Olive Garden, well, guess what? You know the other company in this planet that's reviewed Olive Garden? Phantom Gourmet.
Well, that's right.
Here it is.
I suppose,
Bottom
Martha,
line.
you could say that she is treating these people and their investors and their employees
Like it's a real
Well,
business.
but here's
you're
the
right.
bottom
That's a
line.
good
According to
point.
this woman, her review of Olive Garden in the paper of record in North Dakota. All in all, it is the largest and most beautiful restaurant now operating in Grand Forks. It attracts visitors from out of town as well as people who live here.
I just spit water on
Oh, by the way, and she got all of that based on one plate of chicken Alfredo and a glass of water. She extrapolated the entire review.
Okay.
617-822-1969. I want to hear from the Olive Garden lovers and haters. John in the car, you're on with the Ambleman brothers. Hello, John.
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's happening?
That's,
Listen, I went to the Olive Garden. I'm half Sicilian, half non-Italian. My mother was the greatest cook, pastries, everything you'd ever want to imagine. So you
Okay.
can imagine my taste for Italian food.
Yeah,
Okay,
mhm.
I went there and I had, which would be a dish from heaven. It was. Normally, it was seafood marinara, with the clams and the all the great stuff in there, right?
Yep.
It came out. It was so freaking hot. You could tell it was nuked. It was nuked so freaking hot. I couldn't even put it near my face. I say it was like so nuked. And the sauce was something I'd probably treat my hemorrhoids with. That would probably work pretty well.
I would not recommend that. I think the
I like the way all
acid
Italians
was not
work
very
the
good.
way freaking into any restaurant review.
Yeah, and this guy's like a
The
PhD
freaking
at Harvard.
breadsticks are freaking free. I don't freaking like them, but they're freaking free. Oh. All right. Thank you for the call. Michelle in Holliston. Welcome to the Phantom Gourmet. What's up, Michelle?
Well, the pasta at Olive Garden is fine if you want to drink it. So perhaps that's why that reviewer in North Dakota liked it, because it's just mush.
Yeah, well, I think that is my overall impression. It all just seems kind of gloppy and mushy. That's
again,
how I would
Yeah,
describe it.
and
Don't
if
keep
Steve
things on the
Wynn
al
was
dente
smart,
stuff.
he'd put in a takeout next to Olive Garden, next to the slots in the new casinos in Massachusetts.
Yeah, it would be a big hit. I guarantee you that.
Like all
You
the,
mean there's going to be a casino? Because I watch Wynn's video. He never seems to mention a casino.
every piece of the video is like it's like Steve Wynn
building a
in an
ranch.
open prairie with a painting of Picasso. And if you look behind that painting,
Right.
it would be four fat guys in Teddy Bruschi shirts.
It's great.
Thank you for the call, Michelle. 617-822-1969. Jim in Stoughton, the home of one of the biggest Olive Gardens on the East Coast. Hello, Jim. Welcome to the show.
Yes, guys. Okay. Why is Olive Garden terrible? Let me count the ways. The Olive Garden in first of all, it's built near, I guess it's a gelatin factory or something like that in the
What?
back, so it smells a little bit like a sewer inside the restaurant. I've had that dish. I've had the Alfredo dish at that Olive Garden. It looked like they went and got some lean cuisine and threw like maybe one or two pieces of chicken in it. I complained to the manager about it.
Why?
terrible-
Why? Jim, you're eating
It
at
was a
Olive
waste
Garden. They're
of
going to
money.
complain.
Hey,
Come on.
Jim,
Dude, it was a waste of. It was a waste. You know what? Anybody who's been there will corroborate what I'm saying.
all right, Jim, be honest.
Not Marie Haggerty in North Dakota.
Would you rather?
Well, look, how many restaurants are there in North Dakota? I mean,
Well, Jim,
if it's the only
two.
restaurant in the middle of Podunk, wherever,
Well,
you know what I
maybe-
mean? If it's, come on now.
Maybe if you got the raspberry lemonade, like was suggested.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another
Or-
thing.
or
That's
Jim,
another thing.
did you have the water?
The water is it tastes like dishwater.
Oh.
It tasted like.
Jim,
All right.
I don't know about the other ones, but it's a chain-run place.
Well, you
and
know
they
what,
just
Jim?
managed-
Jim, you cannot speak to the North Dakota Olive Garden. Maybe they're doing something special there.
Hey,
in the
Jim,
Grand Forks
Jim,
location.
you can't have it both ways. Your property value in Stoughton went up when the Olive Garden opened up.
Much like Steve Wynn's casinos going
Right?
to do for
Yeah.
the good people in Foxborough.
Steve Wayne said to the Red Wing Diner, "Your business will triple."
Well, they might open in Taunton. They still want to build a casino
I
in
know,
Taunton,
it's great.
too.
We're
I
talking
think
about
every
building-
town should have a
We're
casino.
talking about building casinos in towns I never even heard of. How can that be?
Don't take this the
Could
wrong.
the state have come up with a more fakakta process for a casino? That if you tried, could you come up with anything crazier than what they're doing?
Here's what I always say about businesses like this.
This is why you need Charlie Baker as governor. Charlie Baker would have said, we're going to have one casino, open bidding. Who's giving me $1 billion? Bang, on to the next thing.
I don't understand why there's still confusion over here. Like, did it ever come down to say, here's how many? Like, it's still like, they're just like, we don't.
They're
Like,
appointing
at what
boards
point are
and
you going to know?
commissions.
And don't take this the wrong way. But
crazy.
if the good towns aren't bidding on these things, then they're not good.
Right.
All
Right.
right. Michael,
Newton and Western are not
Yeah.
exactly begging to get a
I
casino.
did not say Newton saying, Mr. Wynn, right here next to Newton South, I would like to put an Excalibur Hotel.